working in a factory during the 20th century, on payday you would receive a physical paper check from your employer. But the problem with these checks was that people could find ways of altering and forging them. And this was where the check writing machine came in. In this episode of the Dead Technology series, we will be looking into the history of the checkwriter, a machine whose job is now obsolete, but back in the 20th century, it was completely common in offices, factories, and other workplaces. Now that we are out of our factory environment, we could take a closer look at the checkwriter. Let's start off by explaining what a checkwriter is. A checkwriter is a machine that stamps or punches numbers or other symbols onto checks in order to stop forgery. The earliest checkwriting machines can be traced back to the late 19th century. Some of these machines would perforate numbers onto checks like the one shown. The Early Office Museum has a nice selection of early checkwriters from the 19th century. An example of a check that was perforated by a checkwriter can be seen here. This is a check from the Standard Bank of South Africa from 1933. Notice the numbers created by a series of small holes and perforations. These were created by a check perforator, a type of checkwriter. A lot of checkwriters used ink to mark checks, including the one that I am about to show you in the demonstration section. So this is the checkwriter that I will be showing you in the demonstration section. This is a 1940s-1950s checkwriter made by the Safegaurd Corporation in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Now I'm going to explain how the checkwriter works. Here we have this keyboard. Basically, the keyboard doesn't use keys, it uses these levers. And these levers allow me to choose the amount of money that I want to be stamped into the check. This side is for the cents, this side is for the dollars. So, let's say I want to give a person $9.99. That's how much money I want to be stamped on a check. I would pull these levers down, so 99 cents, $9. Then I would push this lever into this little peg, and this one's stuck. And it would stamp the numbers, the denomination, into the check and reset the machine. These are all spring-loaded. Now, the machine is really old, so it does have some condition issues, as you can see. Right here, it's kind of hard to see. Sorry about the blurry image. This separator, this divider, actually has split right here. So it's kind of loose. But basically, this thing still functions pretty well. If you look closely, you can see that these numbers and these levers are in different colors. Red, black, red. This is most likely used to separate the different colors for different denominations. Now, basically, this would probably stamp the numbers in two different colors. So, the cents would be red, the hundreds, the ones, tens, and hundreds would be black, and the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s would be stamped in red. That's my guess, but you see the levers are the same color as you can see as these numbers. So most likely, the numbers would be stamped out in different colors, in red and black. If we turn the machine over, we can see basically how the lever works. The lever rests on this peg. When it pushes the peg down, as you can see I pushed the peg down, it resets the machine and that stamps everything onto the check. Interesting thing to note, but here is basically a label that was taped onto the side of the checkwriter from the original owner, from the original company it was used at. On the back, we have the information plate. As you can see, it says it was made by the Safegaurd Corporation in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. It has a denomination, an amount of money, $104.50. I don't know what that means, but could be the price of the machine, could be, who knows. Right here says Lansdale, PA, where the company was located. And another identifying mark is this badge, which features the Safegaurd logo, which features a knight with his sword, and basically it kind of represents the guard part of the name, Safegaurd. Now, right here, this is the slot that the check would be inserted. As you can see, here's from the side. So the check would be inserted in here, and you can see some red kind of marks. That's from the ink. Now, I don't know how you would load the ink into this machine. I actually don't know too much about how exactly this machine works. I just realized how some of it works when I was photographing it for the museum website. On the side, we have this lock, and this would probably... I don't actually know what the lock would do. I haven't seen a Checkwriter with a lock before, but this would probably... It's some sort of security feature. But yeah, that is basically... This is basically the machine. As I explained, it's a simple machine to operate, and it's really something that's really interesting. And now we're going to go to the closing section of the documentary. So, in conclusion, checkwriters were a very important piece of technology because they prevented scammers from stealing more money from the companies they worked for. Today, paychecks are now being distributed online, and there is no longer a need for these machines. There is now software that fills in the need for checkwriters, but despite the fact that they are no longer needed, they are still an interesting piece of obsolete technology that at one point made people's lives much easier. Thank you for watching this first episode of the Dead Technology series. If you like it, click the like button and subscribe to the channel and support me on Patreon. This video is just one in a series of documentaries that will be made about interesting obsolete technology, so stay tuned for more interesting videos. Bye.